Without further ado, welcome to episode 3 of Fake Fans Podcast. This is the first episode with a special guest, Sydeon.
Hi, I can't believe I'm the first guest. How exciting.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, I'm Sid. I like anime apparently more than all of the people in our friend circle, which I was not aware of. So
including us.
Yes, including us. She watches more anime than anyone else.
And that's why you guys are called the fake fans.
Yes, exactly.
That way, like, there's, we have no credibility to rely on because we never claim to have any credibility.
Yeah, we thought we'd bring on the person who watches the most anime.
That is crazy to me. I can't believe that that's my title. That's me.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. You're the weeb.
I'm the weeb.
There's a friend in our friend group, Yvonne, known as the Weeb Commander, and I'm almost certain you watch more anime than she does.
That's crazy. Huh, well. At least I don't read. That would make me a nerd and a weeb.
Sorry. Excuse me. What did you just fucking say?
Oh, shit,
Reading is superior. I'm going to just say it. Fuck it. I'm sorry.
Reading used to be superior. Nowadays, I would say maybe not.
Animation's so good.
Animation's so good nowadays.
It's just so good.
Yes.
Okay, reading is really good in terms of time invested versus, to enjoyment.
I agree.
Makes sense.
Anyways, today we're just going to talk only about Sid. So thank you.
Oh. Okay, lovely.
No, actually, the first thing I want to talk about is these two were really fucking pissed. Before this, we ended up watching an episode of No Game, No Life.
The first episode of No Game, No Life. So I had never seen No Game, No Life before.
Have not seen it before. I have seen every episode. It is, what do you have to say about it?
I have a lot of things to say.
So let me start this off. It's based on it's a brother-sister duo that is just the best gamers in the world get teleported to a fantasy world where you play games to achieve every outcome. So the first episode was about that, and there's nothing weird about it.
Yeah, that's all it was about. Not about an 11-year-old and her weird shots, the weird shots that they drew. Someone drew that. That's the crazy thing about fan service is, like, I knowingly sat down and drew an 11-year-old's panties. Do you feel good about that?
Crazy sentence that you
whoever drew that, do you feel good about that?
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they got paid a lot to do it.
Yeah, no.
Well, they got paid.
They got paid.
They got paid to do it.
There was money exchanged somewhere. Yeah.
Dude, that was. I have not seen anything so blatantly lewd in that way in a long time.
I want to say this was like 10 years ago. And it was at the time like almost anime of the year, if not winning anime awards.
Oh, so you're saying that she's 21 now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so in the opening shot, it's just like all these like in VR game scenes going on, blah, 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 RPG bullshit fighting.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the brother and sister in their room. He is in front of like 8 fucking monitors and he's gaming away, just being normal nerd shit. His sister is sitting on the ground, leaning against his chair. Her legs are up in the air and she's controlling 2 different mice with her feet, but her legs are up, so you just see her fucking panties.
Well, how does she know there's a camera there? Like, how could she have known? That would maybe just the optimal way to play.
I'm starting to realize that I understand how people like OJ Simpson have a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, you are just like in that same category for me right now. Literally the devil's advocate.
Okay, so let's be clear here. You're not a fan of fan service.
I do not like fan service.
You're not a fan.
I especially don't like it when they're 11.
Okay, honestly, I'm a hypocrite.
Mato Sete no slave over here. He watches a slave harem, or reads a slave harem manga, and then he said it was his guilty pleasure. And I just want to make that's a lot of fan service.
We're outing
there's
here.
One with a mom and her daughter. They both reward the main character at the same time. And so,
when you say reward.
So his superpower is that he can transform, and after the transformation in that series,
whoa, let's correct some things off the bat, okay?
Okay.
So the main girl, her ability is to enslave,
okay,
and like imbue her power, or like release the inner powers of the slave that she contracts.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy himself, I don't think actually has any inherent powers. I might be wrong. Whatever.
Right. Okay. So with that clarification, is that better?
I mean, you lost me at slave, to be honest.
So what is the reward in that manga? I'm just curious. This is a current running anime, by the way. It's this season, so it's actually very, very prevalent. We should have watched that.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't.
So what would you say a reward happens over like after they fight? Because it's a fighting thing. They fight.
Oh, okay.
She enslaves him. They fight, and then afterwards,
it's like every high school boy's fantasy, basically, essentially.
the more power they use, the bigger the reward has to be.
Sorry, so we still have not defined the word reward, which I think might be important.
It's basically just like physical intimacy most of the time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And all of these people are over the age of...
I don't think they ever specify.
I want to say college?
You hope.
You know what? Your Honor, I do not know. They look like college-aged individuals.
Anime needs to be brought down. I've changed my mind. The whole industry's gotta go.
There's like one of the core members is like a elementary school girl, and when she when she rewards him, they hug. So they hug, and then he like pats her on the head. So it's like I think they are aware of the weird age thing, and they won't go like weird because that girl, the girl in Mato, I think is like 11 as well, same age as the girl in okay, No Game No Life.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, but like yeah, so when I was reading it, I was like, oh fuck, like she has to reward him now. Like Jesus, is this like where I'm gonna have to drop the series? And then like he gives her a head pat.
And luckily you didn't, so you just kept reading.
I did.
So, anyways, there's a lot of things I feel like it sucks that like you have to hand wave if you want to enjoy certain things. Not have to, but you kind of do. Yeah. Like a good example is there's another thing I went to show you guys before this. I went to actually bring out Made in Abyss.
Yeah, that was another series off the top of my head. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of uncomfortable depictions of children.
Wait, interesting, because so I watched a couple of episodes of Made in Abyss, but I don't remember there being fan service. But I also said that about Soul Eater when I showed it to Sean, because Soul Eater is one of my favorites. I was like, yeah, there's no fan service. I don't like fan service. We get in there's just titties. Everywhere. Just titties left and right.
Every episode has fan service in Soul Eater.
I think that I just block it out. Like, I actually just, like... If I like a show enough for me to continue watching, even though it has fan service, all of the fan service just goes out the window for me. I'm like, I don't even look at it. That
is the same for me, but I understand like how weird that is. Like, it's just like you hand wave a lot.
Yes. Luckily, it's Blair in Soul Eater. Like, she's obviously older, right? She's older. Like, if it was Maka, I would have a problem. I'd be like,
age check.
No Maka fan service. But like Blair, fine. She looks like she's in her 20s.
I don't like that we're on our search bar. We're gonna look for age of Blair in Soul Eater.
I will also say that anime tends to do this thing where like characters look like they're 18 or older, like clearly, and then it turns out they're like in high school. And I'm just like, okay.
Never gave her a confirmed age, but most people just assume 18 to 21.
Yeah, I too made that assumption.
You know, whatever helps you sleep at night is like basically anime for me, you know? Whatever helps you be like, oh yeah, that would be legal in America, maybe.
Yeah, Japan's weird though. And like that's fucking crazy.
No, like I mean for Mato, like I think it's really cool. It's like very rule of cool, but then also hot women. So it's just like, yeah. Like a lot of the character designs in Mato are really well done. But then there is like over the top. That series is fan service and just like owns it. So I'm like, this is like a guilty pleasure for me for sure.
Yeah, and that's completely okay.
But like, I don't know why. Like, I feel like a hypocrite though, because when I saw No Game No Life and I saw that 11-year-old girl like with the fucking panty out and like she's like moving her legs around in a suggestive way and shit, I'm just like, oh, what the fuck is this?
That's bad.
Yeah, it is. She had known the camera was there.
How? Jeez. I'm really interested in your Made in Abyss comment because I watched like, I don't know, maybe 5 episodes and I don't remember feeling weird.
I mean, it depends on
just like one specific area where it gets a little weird.
There's 2 things off the top of my head. One of them is when the main girl is getting punished. She gets stripped naked and like tied up and she gets like hit with like a stick or something. But she is like naked.
Oh.
So there's that, and also later on there is like characters having sex, and they're definitely like minors, I'm pretty sure, or like underage.
Yeah, I don't think I got that far.
But there's a good part of the. How do I follow up that sentence? Okay.
No, but yeah. So
like,
that's the
how
thing.
do I follow
Made in
that
Abyss
sentence?
has like insane, incredible world building,
Yeah.
and just like I'm just like.
No, I seriously, I'm like, this part, can you just not watch like from this part to this part? And we're all good because it has like a crazy scene, like a really fucking iconic scene where everyone talks about because it's like so mind blowing. And it's like, well, okay, well, before you get to this awesome scene, can we skip like this?
Just close your eyes, put your earmuffs
Yeah.
on.
And like the thing is, we live in a household where there's some people who just don't like anime. So Jody has gone on record saying she's not an anime watcher. She does not like anime, and part of why she doesn't like anime is because she doesn't like fan service to like to a very strict degree. I can hand wave some of it, right? But she is just like, fuck it, fuck this, and I'm like, okay, that's reasonable.
No, that's fair.
I can't say anything.
I would even argue that's normal. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But I did read a comment before about how like this is gonna sound a funny comparison. Like fan service in anime, it's to some extent similar to like smut in fantasy fiction.
Yeah, I mean, I think all sexual themes throughout any type of media is like really, it's ultimately the same, right? Like it's just a sexual theme throughout media. I think that people who are reading smut are not reading about 11-year-olds.
But what
And
if they're
I think
what if they're
probably
what if they're 1,000-year-old
the
dragons?
No, don't tell me Zoe's a million years old or whatever. I don't want to hear it. She's a fucking child.
Agreed.
She looks like a child, and that's the important part.
I realize I'm trying to contrast your opinion, but it makes it sound like I'm defending it.
Yeah.
I do not.
No, Scar, you
I
are
do not
defending it.
condone it.
Let's make it.
No, I do not
The amount
condone
of times
it.
you said like, how come she didn't know the camera was there? That's a lot.
That was just like a funny statement. That's not like a like I trust me. I'm on your boat here. I think that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
He's on our side.
I think
just
everyone
playing
has,
devil's
like-
advocate.
Yeah, everyone has like a certain amount of hand waving,
And
they're willing to do.
that's my line.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, it's really hard. And that's why I think Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is incredible because it has almost no fan service. Well, there are characters that are sexual in nature, but I wouldn't consider them like fan service. Like for example, Lust.
Yeah, but it's not like big titty shots.
She's like
where
she's supposed to be the personification of the sin.
And
Yes.
I find her to be like so like not reserved, but like her design. She has great design. Like she is very sexual in nature, but she isn't like. They aren't doing it purely just to like attract the male gaze.
Yes.
You know.
I would say actually the only minor in that show has a very bad problem happen to her.
Oh.
Well.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit was depressing. So
Yeah.
I tried watching Full Metal.
The way we were vague about that was kind of fucked up. She dies. She was
Yeah.
killed. Okay.
And then she gets transmuted into a dog.
Yes.
Well, no, in reverse order. Transmuted into a dog and then killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edward.
That was a good clarification.
Yeah.
there. After our
After like our whole spiel.
yeah,
we
it's a good clarification.
yeah. Sorry for the spoilers, but that series has been out for a fucking long time. So
And I
yeah.
didn't watch it until like last year.
Really? What did you think?
I loved it. I had to listen to Peter all the time talk about FMAB, and I
Yes,
was like, okay,
Peter is
I tried
literally
the
obsessed.
version that was like not the right version.
well,
Oh.
it was the original, but then like it was not as close to the source material
as Brotherhood. Yeah.
The source material wasn't finished. And so they just had to go off the deep end. Like so
Gotcha.
like
is that why?
yes.
How
So
okay.
it was not done. From what I understand. So they just started doing some random shit.
Gotcha.
Which some of it was cool and some of it was like, oh, it's just not the same. And then they redid it. And then now Brotherhood is like the de facto one that you send people.
Yeah.
There are some people that I've talked to
They like the old
prefer no, they not only do they like the old one, which is fine in my opinion, they prefer it to Brotherhood. And that's where I'm like,
I think it's
What
just
the fuck?
I don't think I would need to rewatch it.
it's not bad though.
Okay.
It's not bad, but I just think Brotherhood is like clearly superior. But I just have a massive bias toward it. Yeah.
So we know his favorite anime, which is actually my favorite anime. What
Well,
is-
both of you Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, we're both.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I usually go by like recently I have like fixations on stuff.
Yeah.
And anime is no different. It's like
Gotcha.
recently like I always talk about Ping Pong the animation as being my favorite.
Ping pong?
Ping Pong the animation. It's literally two people playing ping pong. You think it's lame, but it's like literally
hype as
the
fuck.
best sports anime of all time. And literally a top 10, top 5 anime for me of all time.
You see, that's the thing. Like some of my favorite series / anime / manga on paper, the description is just the fucking worst.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you can't. You'd have to tie me up to a chair to get me to watch something about ping pong.
Sid, let me sell you on one of my favorite manga series of all time. Okay?
No, you're not allowed to. Okay,
it's about a Tokyo high school student that goes to an agricultural high school and learns what it's like to be a farmer.
God, that sounds so awesome.
What are your thoughts?
Hey, you would have to hold my eyes open.
Okay, but it is made by the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist.
Okay,
who is also a woman.
About agriculture.
Are you not supporting women?
I do like to support women.
You should then watch/read Silver Spoon, everyone.
He's brought this up every episode.
Every episode.
I have read this, and it's just like
you haven't read the entirety of it though.
I've read 100+ chapters.
Of Silver Spoon?
Yes, which is significant.
And you still didn't like it?
It's okay. It was just not for me. This guy is actually so offended.
I'm so pissed off.
This feels like subliminal messaging. Like at once an episode, the viewers are gonna hear this, and then eventually they're just gonna have to fucking watch it.
Yeah. Well, enough about us. What's your favorite anime? Because you watch, you're the biggest.
You watch a lot.
Yeah, you're the biggest weep here.
And I also at the same time have told people that you are the pickiest watcher I know.
I am very picky.
Yes.
I'm very picky. In order for me to enjoy an anime, it needs most of the time. I have some exceptions, but it needs to be shonen.
Okay.
So I need superpowers or magic or some sort of cool world. That's like my number one thing. I want minimal fan service. I don't want any underage fan service.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I just like good and up to date animation and like complex characters. And this one has a small asterisk next to the side. Is I prefer if there are real stakes, like Attack on Titan, rather than like Shangri-La Frontier, which I'm watching right now and ended up loving. So that's like one of my asterisks.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm gonna just say that shonen and complex characters is not impossible, but like difficult. I find shonen to be often.
She's asking for a lot.
I'm asking for a lot.
Like as soon as she was like no fan service, and then it got to like characterization. Also, from what I know, because I've watched some and asked your opinion about stuff, you like more mature / gore in your stuff. So like that cuts off like a decent amount of possibilities.
Yes, I'm like very, very picky, which also is funny to me that I am somehow the biggest weeb because I like. It takes me a while to find something that I like.
Where do you find the time to watch these? Like that's I think my main issue is that like yeah.
She gave up something important for this.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't really sleep a lot.
The other thing.
Gaming.
No.
What did I give up?
The thing that you did before anime.
What did I do before anime?
Reality TV shows.
I gave up reality TV. I will happily trade reality TV for anime. This is not something I feel bad about at all.
Wait. To give context, how much reality TV did you watch before?
I've seen every season of Love Island from 1 to whatever it is now, probably over 20 of each region. I've seen UK, I've seen the US, I've seen Australia. I even dabbled in the Swedish one. Like, I loved that shit. But I actually think it is poison for your mind. So I swore it off. I swore off Love Island, Love is Blind, the one where they swap partners, which is really just a setup for extreme drama and like emotional trauma. That's really what reality TV is, right? It's like we are just setting you up to be scarred for the rest of your life. And I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. So I've put this aside and I'm like, I'm going to stop watching television destroy people's lives. And instead, I'm going to watch anime.
A healthy pickup. It's like trading junk food for healthy options.
Exactly.
Healthy underaged options.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I did not say that.
Okay.
If you like the champion cause here, feel free. Wait. Stop. We never got to it, though.
My actual favorite.
Yeah. What's your actual favorite?
God, picking one is really hard. I think I would honestly have to say Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Solid.
Yeah.
Great choice.
I love Hunter x Hunter. It was actually one of the first ones that I got into when I started watching anime. So I got into anime late.
Okay.
I didn't watch anime as a kid. I watched like some anime adjacent things, but like I haven't even seen the big three. I've seen episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Right? Naruto's the other one, right? And then One Piece.
Is
this a debatable?
Okay, Dragon Ball is its own entity.
Yeah,
yes, it's like eternal and forever. There were 3 series that came out around the same time.
After Dragon Ball,
it was Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. So, I am of the opinion that Bleach and Naruto are kind of like you had to be there to fully enjoy it.
That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's really kind of hard to just like as a new anime watcher to like get into it unless you're watching the new Bleach.
Fuck it, I'll throw One Piece in there. I would say if One Piece got printed right now as it is, no one like it would be very hard to get into it. If you don't have Oda's like prestige backing it, it is not something for the modern age.
Gotcha.
Because everyone's attention spans are a lot lower. Like, sure, the arcs like build up in like kind of an okay pace, but I think you drop any of the big three in right now, it might be slow for a lot of people. And that's just how it is.
Which is why they're remaking One Piece.
Which is why they keep remaking One Piece. Like they're like One Piece like 3 times now. There's like 3 live actions, fucking some traveling show. Who knows?
There's a traveling show.
Live action.
There's like a.
You love the live action?
Mm-hmm. As someone who didn't know One Piece, or I'd watched, so I tried One Piece.
Yes.
4 separate times. I
Oh,
watched the first 2 episodes and could not get into it. I was like, I just can't. But I'm going to keep trying because people talk about this like it's the goddamn anime Bible. Couldn't get into it. And then I watched the live action and I went in with like a general understanding of the story and just like, I had to go in with an open mind. I was like, okay, this is a live action adaptation of an animation. So it's probably going to be like a little cheesy and like some things aren't going to translate well. But I just think that they did the world so well and the actors were so great that for me, it was really enjoyable because I'm like a new fan.
Oh.
So I loved the live action.
Okay. Her taste is that and Hunter x Hunter. Pretty good.
I think it's good. Yeah. I think a lot of people find you to be far more cultured than either of us, me or Scarra. Yeah.
So to bring on someone who is a giant weeb but also like based, it's great. Thank you for coming.
I'll take that.
Anything you're watching recently that you're like, this is fucking peak. Like I think this is the awesome.
Yeah, right now I'm watching Shangri-La Frontier, which I'm super into. So how it happened is Scarra and I are sitting on the couch and we're watching Solo Leveling, and I think Toast was also there. We are shitting on it. We were like, this shit sucks. They've read it. They're like, this is fucking awful, horrible. I'm watching it. I'm like, what the fuck is even going on? I was like, this shit sucks.
By the way, she says this. We're on episode 6. If you know what happens on episode 6, that should be like, it's kind of the peak of the stuff. Like they spent a lot of animation budget. They introduced a new song.
Wait, that was the peak?
Yeah, if that was the peak, then that shit weak
as
fuck.
Well, they introduced the Sawano song,
right?
Which was actually really good. But the opening is just god awful. It's the worst opening I've ever heard in my life.
Whoa! We love TXT and we love TXT.
The opening actually didn't bother me. The entire story bothered me.
I find I found the opening to be a little generic. Like it wasn't the worst.
Yeah,
but
it's not the worst. It's just like
I just thought like everything felt so budget to me. Like,
yes,
the series felt so budget
for something that is like crowned on such high level art. The animation needs to be like here for it to be good, and it never reached that. Like the ants looked like they literally copied and pasted the ants.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, you're like, oh shit, man.
Yeah.
But what do you like about Shangri-La Frontier?
So I didn't think I would like the genre, but basically Scarra was like, hey, if you want to watch the better version of this, it's like, this is Shangri-La Frontier. It was like, if you want to watch the best MMORPG, like power leveling anime, this is it. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound like my style at all. But then we started watching it. I was like, oh, this is super fun. Like the characters are really fun. The world is cool, but there's no stakes, right? I was like, there's no like, he doesn't actually die IRL if like this happens or whatever. As I got further in though, because I just kept finding it to be so entertaining, I recognized that there are some stakes, which I now really, really care about.
Oh.
Yeah, like really care about. Anyways.
Damn.
Yeah, I ended up getting super into it. So I love it a lot. It's like my favorite, just like put on and enjoy myself.
I think it's one of those things where like when you play MMOs, the stuff you remember are like the big fucking bosses and also the time you spend with like your friends playing.
Yes.
I think it really captures that like we're all doing it together. We're going to do cool shit together. And I love that. A lot of MMO animes like focus on like the numbers. Like, wow, he gained 1 skill point and he leveled up his like slice to 2 or some shit, where this one is like, all right, fuck all this shit, we're gonna just go in, the guy's goofy, he's really fucking cool, and like the bosses are like insane.
That's what you remember? What I remember is erotic roleplay at the Golden Saucer at Final Fantasy 14. I don't know what your boss fights, playing with your friends. Nah, man, I'm a hot bunny girl.
That
dude.
is also true. I remember going to like clubs in Final Fantasy and literally opening up Twitch streams on the other side, and like when you guys,
the DJ?
Yeah, when they're literally DJ, and then you guys left, and I donated to them. Like, oh my god, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I think that aspect of it is also really fun. The fact that like we play and enjoy MMOs, and then they just have these like, I don't know, it's because I've never watched the genre. It's really fun to be like, oh yeah, that's what me and my friends do. Like, oh, this is relatable.
Okay, it's funny that was Sid's reaction to Shangri-La Frontier, because I remember when the video game elements appeared in solo leveling, she's like, oh, this shit's like a fucking video game. This shit sucks, you know?
Because it didn't belong. In the beginning of solo leveling, we walk into this room with these incredible, like, deity-like statues, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cool. Like, this is gonna have some really awesome magic element, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We move to the next episode, and Manza's playing, like, a literal fucking video game, and I'm like, you're telling me that these insane, godlike magic beasts gamified his life?
Yes.
Yes.
How lame.
Yes,
How lame. That's so lame.
Literally, yes.
They could have been so much cooler. Or, like, start with a game. Walk into a room full of fucking arcade machines, not insane cool deities.
I think what sucks about solo leveling is that the first enemy you fight or you see is like this literal god.
Insane.
And he's like creepy as hell. He's got like huge smiles. He literally, like, the main character gets stabbed to death through the stomach on a ritual platform, and that's the first.
Yeah,
it's like
and I'm like,
it's
sick.
badass. Yeah,
That
like,
was so cool.
awesome.
And then he just starts playing a fucking game. I'm like, this is so dumb. I hate it.
Do 1,000 push-ups.
Yeah.
2,000 sit-ups.
What happens if I do more than 1,000? And then I'm gonna get an extra item in my inventory. Like, please, it's just so bad. It's so bad.
I don't know. When I read it in manhwa format, it just didn't seem as lame. But like, I don't know. I guess the way they integrated in anime is just like, I was like, oh, this is worse.
It felt like paced poorly. Like, I hate when you cut away from action scenes to do like, this is what my sister said in the cafe with her friends. I'm like, the
Like, why do I
fuck?
care?
He's in the middle of the fight. Like, he's fighting someone right now. Like go back. You know, but that's stuff that people used to do in older anime. I'm surprised they brought it back here. They don't do that for modern anime anymore, like a lot. But
yeah, like stretching out an episode and like creating more like I don't know, just like hype or just like intensity behind the fights because
like,
you're wondering what happens next.
Yeah, it's like trying to create plot lines too. Like in the middle of the episode, like during the hype moments, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But that just sucks.
I want like Demon Slayer style. I want one episode of exposition.
Just like continuous fighting afterward. Yeah.
Okay.
9 of the same fight.
You got spoiled. I watched that season. That season was literally like, oh yeah, here's what they're doing. Here's the whole season is just him fighting, and it's awesome. It's
so
not
awesome.
It's not Dragon Ball Z. There's not like 14 minutes of recap every episode. It's like maybe 30 seconds, if that, and they just go in.
Yeah. I would say like for Demon Slayer, I'm not like super attached to the characters or the world or anything like that. But if I want to watch some fucking sick animation and just fight scenes, I'm like, this is my shit.
Mm-hmm. It's like very visually pleasing.
Yeah,
you know.
I just turn my brain off and watch that.
Which I found
one.
solo leveling to just not at all be.
Yeah, no.
What do you think about Jujutsu Kaisen then?
I like Jujutsu Kaisen. So I think a really common complaint for Jujutsu Kaisen is that it's basically just Naruto. Or it's like basically, or that's what I hear. I feel like pretty often it's like, oh, it's like they have the same characters. It's like the same kind of setup. It's the same sort of arcs. Nothing about this is like special.
Interesting. Okay.
But for me, I've never seen it. So I'm like, oh my God, this is sick. Like, what do you mean?
It is tropey in like good and bad ways, for sure. But if you never watched like any of the original Big Three, which I think had a lot of like 3-man parties or 3-man groups, or that entire age was full of like tournament arcs, full of like random stuff, which Jujutsu Kaisen just kind of did, but like made it cool.
Yeah, like the schools fighting, and then like the tournament, and then like they're climbing you know what I mean? Like that stuff was like, if you've watched all of the OG stuff, then you've seen it a million times. But for me, it's like I've maybe seen it in 1 or 2 other animes, and it was like, to me, really well done, and the characters are hot, so that's helpful.
You would love Bleach. Like,
I know I would, but I tried, and the animation's too old.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you. Oh, fuck.
It's too old.
Read it. Fuck, you're not gonna read it.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it.
You could just skip to the current one. Like, literally skip everything and can watch it. Because
the 1,000-Year War?
Okay, what happened was really funny. They had during the Big Three, obviously, all of them had run the anime. And then recently, the Bleach anime I don't think ever finished. Or they finished it kind of badly. So the author came back, and then they decided to do the last arc now. So, like, it's current animation, and it's good. You would not complain.
I watched the first episode of the new one and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I do not know
maybe like
what is going on.
Maybe like a recap.
Yeah.
Like watching a YouTube recap of like what happened.
That is really, yeah. It's definitely like, because when I think of, we talked about this last episode, but the mangaka Kubetito is like a top 2 and he writes or he illustrates Bleach. All the characters in Bleach are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like whenever you see like art of them, like you see them walking on like a subway station, like all like dripped out. You're like, damn, this guy he's sick. He illustrates just such cool characters.
Yeah.
And he's just famous for that. And I think that like Jujutsu Kaisen is actually like kind of worse in terms of like how the characters look. But like I think
really
well.
Well, I just think it's more like Kubo is just so good at making characters look cool that I feel like it was almost like he just was so influential in like how all shonen artists wanted to like demonstrate how cool characters can be.
So he like he does a lot of things. Like Domain Expansion is somewhat like Bankai in Bleach. Every character has their own Bankai, and then it's like their sword transforms. And it's sometimes the sword transforming is like the world transforms around them kind of deal. And all of them got tripped. Like he's famous for making characters that look cool. He is the cool guy.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought what drew me to Bleach was how cool the characters looked. And then I think also just like, I'm not going to read it. Unless it's in color, I won't read it. Sorry. I'm
sure someone out there did like a fan coloring of all the chapters.
It actually is 100% colored. Yes.
Hey, if you got the link, I'll read it.
But
because I got sick of Tower of God, I can't do it anymore.
So when you're reading, like, okay, this is really strange because I think you're the only person that reads comic books or come from like a comic book reading background.
Yeah.
What is like the big difference there in terms of like, because
I mean, the obvious ones are like, okay, comic books have color and manga doesn't. And like seeing just a black and white page is just really hard for me. It doesn't do anything. Comic lines are also different. Like the way that they speak in comics to me is different. I found that like when I read manga, it also feels like I get more pages of like fighting than I do in comic books.
Oh,
that
interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. It's like the fights are more broken down into separate actions.
And comic books are like you see someone shoot a laser, and then the next panel is like the end of that sort of thing, and it moves a little bit more.
It's really like quick, the fights.
Yeah, it feels really quick. Like comics to me feel a lot more story based than like when I'm watching or when I'm reading like manga or something like that. It feels a little bit more.
We need to put her onto some Naoki Urasawa
then. She would not last.
He would never. He would fall asleep.
He would
fall asleep.
Urasawa is he writes brilliant. I mean, like award-winning manga. He's most famous, I think, for 20th Century Boys, and then
Monster was more famous, no? Or is it 20th Century Boys? I think 20th Century Boys has more massive. Maybe.
Honestly, it's probably Monster.
I have no idea. Monster and 20th Century Boys are the two that he's most known for. You might have heard of Pluto, which had a Netflix adaptation recently.
Yes.
He
wrote that. He's famous for like he's very famous for mystery and writing characters. 20th Century Boys is crazy because that and the sequel go through, I think, the life and death of a character and into like their children. Wow. And it's still like progressing the storyline because they're trying to figure out who the bad guy is the entire time. But like, yeah, you do not
that's like the least
like
it might be the one thing you hate more than fan service. It's like the pace of his stories.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awful, to be honest. But
they're amazing if you give them a chance.
But like, I don't know, you come from like loving superheroes into watching like a lot of shonen. Like, is there any superhero that you think is the fucking best? Like, are you like a Green Lantern girl, or are you like a the Flash, Superman?
The superheroes that I like aren't like the Giga OP ones.
Okay, I mean
some of them. So like one of my favorites is Jean Grey, and obviously she's fucking Giga OP. But I really like, she's like one of the soul harnessers of the Phoenix Force. She's also like a telepath and she's telekinetic.
Oh, so she's just super.
She's an Omega level mutant, which is like Gojo. There's like a couple of Gojos in the Marvel universe.
I'm glad you explained like that. Yeah. I'm like, damn, okay. She's a Gojo.
Yeah,
I was like, I have no idea what these power levels are, but it sounds crazy.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Omega level mutants are like the best. That's like like Professor Xavier, Jean Grey, Magneto. Yeah. So I really love her. I love Psylocke.
always
Psylocke.
Yeah, she's badass.
Mhm.
Telekinetic, telepathic ninja. And then I really like, I don't know, from DC's side, I love Zatara.
I don't know. I know
Is
the name.
she
I just
the
don't know what she does.
magician?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
the magician
okay,
who
yeah.
like says
She
all
has the
of
top
her,
hat, right?
Yeah, she has the top hat, and she like she does like speak magic, so everything she says is backwards.
Oh,
That's how she casts her spells, which I think is really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I would say those are probably that's my big three.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like everyone. Like honestly, X-Men is just like the coolest thing ever to me. Like, I'm so obsessed with the X-Men.
You must love the X-Men movies then.
Actually, yeah. And I'm not saying that objectively they are all fantastic movies. Like if you've seen The Dark Phoenix or like some of the newer ones, then you know that shit is trash.
I
But
thought the Academy one wasn't bad.
I like Days of Futures Past.
yeah, Days of Future Past is
lot.
really fun.
I
Yeah.
heard Age of Apocalypse was quite bad though.
Horrible. All of the like newer stuff is really bad. But the ones back when like I was a kid, like the 2000, like early 2000s, I loved those, and I still rewatch them.
Oh.
And did you guys ever watch X-Men 1997?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Did you see this?
yes.
Back? Yes.
Wait, it's coming back?
It's coming back.
It's
and
crazy.
They have the same animation style, some of the same voice actors, and the way that they're doing it is they're just picking up after that their last season ended.
Wait,
so
that's
it's a
awesome.
continuation. Yeah, I
It
am
was the
so
craziest announcement ever. I was like,
Yeah.
Wait, that's so cool.
yeah. I was
So
like, are
cool.
there going to be enough people who watch it? Because
I'm sure there
it's
will be.
very. It's kind of dated, but like I
Yeah.
think the fans are diehard. Like I
Yeah,
think
yes.
they will watch.
Yes. Like I'm going to watch this, and so is my dad. And like, just, it's going to be, if you can get like newer people into it, I think that the one concern will be that they went for the older art style.
Yes.
It's just like, it looks nicer, you know, but it's like the same style, which is a little older. But I think that it should be really good, and I'm very
I thought
excited.
you didn't like old art styles. I heard
So
like,
no.
like
if,
you don't
if
like
like
Yu Yu
Naruto
Hakusho.
was like remastered and I could see it not in like 360p, then I would watch it. Like even if it's the same style but it's not pixelated, I would try it.
I think if you watch Naruto and you got to any part with Sakura, you would tear your hair out.
Oh yeah, I've heard that the women are written horribly in Naruto.
Her best. Wait, let me think. Her best fight was when someone was controlling her, like as a puppet.
Yeah, love that. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah, no, like a lot of the women in Naruto exist to
As a
As
foil.
accessories.
yeah, as accessories to the
Yeah.
men.
Which is weird
series.
because like you don't care if I spoil this, right? You don't give a
No,
shit.
I also feel like it's been spoiled.
Yeah, Sakura in the time skip gets super physical power, and she
Yeah.
heals infinitely. Like her power is that her regeneration is impossibly good, and she's impossibly strong, like physically.
Sounds like they were trying to make up for something.
Yes, and even then, her fight with Sasori was her being controlled by puppets. Awesome fight, by the way. Just like one of the best fights, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Teen Titans will ever get a follow-up season?
I also love
they
Teen
got
Titans.
okay.
I never saw it,
They
but
got
like
weird.
never seen it. Or well, I've like watched random episodes when I was at my friend's place, but growing up without cable, I never actually saw it. And then I learned relatively recently that it never actually finished. Like it never had like a final season.
It had 2 seasons, I think, and it wrapped up. Like it wrapped
Yeah.
up the arc, I would
Yeah.
say.
Oh
'Cause-
really?
Yeah.
From what I was told was like it was basically like canceled. It like felt like it got axed.
Oh,
To me, I mean, I would have to watch the last episode again, but I remember it being like, okay, this is the end of this story, and we're gonna set you up for the next season, and then there was no next season, which I think is fine.
Oh, okay.
Like, a little Hunter, you know what I mean?
It's weird because I come from watching every superhero thing known to man.
Yeah.
Like I watched
Young Justice,
Young Justice,
Justice League
Justice
Unlimited.
League, Justice League
Young
Unlimited.
Justice.
It's
It's the shit. If you have not watched the DC animated cartoons, they are really fucking.
Yes.
Wait, is this like young
Yeah,
versions of the
it's like-
superheroes?
I watched Flashpoint. I watched Batman Beyond. I watched
I had
Batman.
Batman Beyond. That was the shit.
Yeah.
I fucking
so
love
good.
Batman
So
Beyond.
like
So good.
it's like DC like at one point ruled the TV, and I think they still do great on the TV medium.
Yeah.
And then Teen Titans was weird because they had an incredible popular product. They didn't make Teen Titans 2. They made Teen Titans
Go.
And I'm just like,
Grr. That was so bad.
it's like the art style is like weird.
I mean, they just made it for children.
Yeah,
Like Teen Titans was like, oh, this is for like teenagers, and like if you're an adult who's into this stuff, like
It's
you can still
good.
watch
Yeah, it's still
this.
mature.
Teen Titans Go is like purely for children.
And it's like that's what they did with their series.
Yeah, I don't know why
it
they
really
did that.
sucks.
Yeah.
That does suck.
Yeah. If you have free time and you want to watch like something that's pretty dang good, it's like any of the DC animated movies or TV shows are fantastic.
The more recent one I think is Flashpoint that I ended up watching, which was
Flashpoint
good.
Paradox, yeah, the movie, really good. Yeah.
It's sick. I mean,
Damn, you watched a fair amount of like comic book related things.
Yeah, I didn't know you had watched all that.
I watched every single superhero. I watched The Cape when they came out.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's a superhero.
Big fan.
I know. No. The premise is the Cape makes you super powerful. It was such a bad show. Their last 2 episodes were only aired online, and they canceled the season. I watched that.
Damn.
That was how.
Damn.
It was terrible.
Damn. Wait, that's like I've never heard of a show being
trust me.
that
bad.
It was
Yeah,
that bad.
That's
Wow.
something.
But yeah,
You're a real. Damn, you're a real.
I've
one.
watched. But like that's why it was so bad. It's so sad to me that the DC movies ended up being so bad. I'm sure
What happened?
you're also like, okay, so you have Marvel here who's killing the game, and then they figured out a formula somewhere around Thor, right? Thor 2, I think Thor 3. They have their formula, and then they made Endgame, and now it's kind of on the drop off. But at least they had a peak.
Yeah.
And then over here with DC, it's like you have some of the coolest heroes. You have fucking great origin stories. You've already had spin-offs that explain the origin stories. I watched so many seasons of Smallville. I should not have fucking done that.
Damn.
And then you make the worst superhero movie I've ever watched in my life, Batman versus Superman. I almost started a podcast after that movie. I sat down with my friend. We were literally a podcast, and we talked about how much the movie sucked for 2 hours.
Yeah, that was bad.
I just don't think Zack Snyder knows how to make a good movie. Like I'm actually kind of convinced now that he doesn't make good. Like what good movies has he made?
I don't know. All I'm just
know what he's
saying.
done.
And then there's Justice League, which also was kind of whatever.
Bad.
It's like I can't believe.
Oh, he made Rebel Moon. That's all I need to know. That's actually all I need to know.
I'm pretty sure he's made something that I like. Okay, so I liked Watchmen.
Yeah.
Oh, Watchmen 300.
300 is great.
I liked
Yeah.
Watchmen and 300.
Yeah.
But like,
Everything else is trash.
yeah, what the fuck? No, that's just shit.
So
like
bad.
Man of Steel was okay. I think it was like
I think it was an all right adaptation.
was an okay movie.
But it sucks that like we're in 2024, and for some reason DC has just been shafted. They had a Green Lantern movie, which to be fair, that one was just
that one was like at least so bad it was funny.
Yeah. They like the casting was wild. The fucking movie was stupid. But like I cannot believe I've not watched a DC movie willingly since Justice League, because ever since then I was like fuck this these guys, they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. I gave up.
Yeah.
I actually gave up.
Which is so sad. They have even if honestly Superman fucking sucks, but they have like I love Green Lantern, I love the Flash. I think there's so much potential there. You know, Batman is honestly like the only running. Batman has so many successful side things.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
They have like a fucking recent Batman movie. I heard that did well. I heard that was awesome.
That the one
The
with
Batman with
The Batman. Yeah.
So I can't finish that one. I've started it 3 times, fallen asleep twice, and the last time I just got so bored I
it's
turned
an
it off.
omega slow burn.
Oh,
and, like,
Not for me.
I've heard it was good. And every Batman thing has been good. Like they had insanely good Batman stuff, which is like the only thing that is carrying
Keeping
the
them.
movie
Yes.
franchise.
I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman. Like
Yeah.
I don't really have an issue with most of the casting in like the DCU, whatever it's called. What's the cinematic
DCEU.
The DCEU.
Except for the Green Lantern, I would say probably not.
Well, I mean, Green Lantern wouldn't be considered part of like the
is it
current
not?
cinema universe, right?
Oh, I don't know. Actually,
Like you know, like
I gave up. I haven't watched Flash.
You mean,
I
are you
haven't
talking about
watched
Ryan
Wonder Woman.
Reynolds?
I haven't
Green
watched.
Lantern? Yeah, I don't think that's included as part of
because there was a new Green Lantern that came in. I think afterwards.
New Green Lantern.
Is it still Ryan Reynolds?
No, wait. There's a new Green Lantern.
No
I had
idea.
no idea there's a new Green Lantern.
Actually,
Who holds the ring for Earth, for humanity right now in the
I
DCU?
didn't even know that they had a Green Lantern in like the current cinematic universe.
Oh,
I
there
don't think
is.
that he is. It's just like Flash, Superman,
Don't-
Aquaman,
Batman,
Wonder Woman,
You're,
Aquaman.
you're really telling me the last one was
Ryan
fucking
Reynolds. Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds?
there was never a new movie Green Lantern. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure.
Yep.
He is, but Green Lantern's so cool.
Listen, man. They don't know what the fuck they're
don't
doing.
know what they're
A Green Lantern movie, like a well done Green Lantern movie, could a well done any of these fucking DC universe
They're
fucking superheroes could be so
It's
good.
weird because like the Flash has their own side TV show. that's done well, even though I don't think it's very good.
No, I can't stand the CW shows.
At the very least, like the CW, like it has a fan base, and it's doing okay.
Yeah.
But like none of the movies have ever.
No, they've just always been bad, which is baffling to me. I don't know.
If they just remade Flashpoint and did not fuck with the plot at all, it'd probably be a good movie.
Yeah.
It's actually fucking mind-boggling because
Yeah.
like I think Batman is genuinely one of the coolest superheroes ever, and like they just have. I felt like I haven't really been able to enjoy a Batman movie since the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nolan trilogy is good.
I will say like the Batman. I don't think is a bad movie. It's just not for me. Like personally.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way.
I think the last thing I really liked, actually, Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad 2 was good.
The Suicide Squad. Like the new one,
they
right?
Yeah, the second one was
hit
good.
some good, like great humor points. They found a little bit of direction.
Yeah.
I would say good.
Wait,
Yeah.
I even heard a Peacekeeper is
yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
They
It's
had
good.
their spin-off Peacekeeper thing, but the one moment in that movie I really loved was when Peacekeeper went through the camp and just started,
Oh
Yeah, he
yeah,
was
I just
murking everybody.
fucking murdered everyone, and those were like the same side.
Yeah.
that was the
And he faced zero consequences for
Yeah.
that too. By the way,
that was a moment where I'm like, you killed it with the scene. You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was amazing.
I've like always been so pleasantly surprised by John Cena.
It's weird.
I love him in everything he's in.
John Cena is probably the best celebrity, as a fighter turned actor.
Yes, I
Because his
agree.
comparison is usually The Rock.
Yeah.
But like he's not a great actor.
There was wait no,
But John Cena is surprisingly a good actor.
He's good.
Drax. Who's the actor for Drax again?
Dave Bautista.
I like Dave Bautista.
Me too.
But I do think Dave Bautista in Marvel is what John Cena is for me in DC. Just like
Yeah.
someone that I did not expect to like as much, but they are killing it.
I didn't know he had a background like that. But I also think he doesn't have to do a lot for his role to seem cool, but he does a good job in it.
Yeah.
So like that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, John Cena he actually has comedy chops.
I like John Cena.
Yeah.
Whenever he's on screen, I'm like, ha, great fucking guy.
Yeah.
I feel the same. He's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Wow, we pivoted from anime straight to the.
Well, good thing
DC.
the title's Fake Fans and not Anime something.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
We at the very beginning, we literally sat here and we spent like 30 minutes trying to come up with names, and it was just awful.
It was bad.
But
I like Fake Fan.
yeah,
good.
I did too.
I'm just like really surprised that it wasn't already taken. Like when it was suggested by Amanda, I was just like, oh yeah, okay, but can you make sure that's not taken? She's like, oh, it isn't. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like,
It's gonna be really funny when we look again and it is taken by some really really French thing. Like the funniest thing is always that offline TV is not the #1 SEO. It's like some random network in the Middle East.
Oh,
I
really?
think, that has a YouTube channel with millions of views. It's a news channel there, like a literal news channel. And so like sometimes I'll see the SEO, I'm like, fuck man, we couldn't be on a country's news channel? Fuck.
Whoops.
But
Don't get sued. Wait, what? Wait, hold
He's
on.
looking at-
Guys, what's that?
What was that? I saw that.
He's looking at fake fans, and the #1 thing he found was fake fans of One Piece. And honestly, what can I say?
We could actually be called that.
Yeah,
honestly.
we could. Wait,
Yeah.
I've read to Wano. She's watched the live action. You've read to Fishman Island. It's
which
fine.
Which is
we
600
would,
chapters.
We would literally just drag in Amanda over there for a One Piece episode if we had one.
I'm actually down.
Because she is the most One Piece person I know.
I want her to sell me on One Piece because I've tried so many fucking times. I really have.
The funniest thing is I'd have to bring in Toast too because he's caught up. Which is surprising.
Insane.
Do you know the weird thing? I talked to him. I think Toast is the fakest fucking. It's weird. That shouldn't gatekeep. But he watches stuff to be on top of current events, which is weird.
But not because he likes it?
Yes, I feel like a lot of times when I hear him watch stuff, I'm like, you watch this shit? Because I'm like, I don't think this is your interest. Not that I'm gatekeeping, but like I
Sounds
think
like you're gatekeeping.
I think he does a lot of watching to stay on top of stuff, which is like impressive.
Yeah.
Like very impressive. But also like you're fake as fuck sometimes.
You must also
know?
have like endless patience because there's no way I'm watching anything that I don't
That
like,
you hate.
That I hate.
Well,
yeah.
I'm hate watching Solo Leveling right now. Every couple of days, I watch a new episode. I think I'm on like episode 6 or 7, and I'm like, this shit sucks so bad. Why am I still watching it? I don't know.
I think I heard episode 7 or 8 was 7.5. Like,
it's a recap.
Oh, yeah.
I've not seen it, but I heard one of the
It's a
episodes is a recap.
how would they?
It's like, why would you need a
do
recap mid-season?
Yeah, I don't know. It was bad.
Was it called a new episode?
I think it had a new name. It's called 7.5, and the description is like we look back at how he got here.
That is the worst.
Wait, what? Why? Like,
I
why
don't
would
know.
you need
I
that?
don't
Like,
know.
this is
I
like
actually don't know.
mid-season. Like, I feel like okay, maybe if you're like there's a big gap between season 1 and season 2, you have like a recap of what season 1 was like. That makes sense. But like, why would you do it mid-season when people?
It's fucked.
That is bad, and that was in place of an episode.
I don't know because I'm not watching them right when they come out, so I don't know if it came out with 8 or what.
I think I want to say that it was in place of an episode because
People are
like,
pissed.
People were pissed. Yeah. I don't know. There is a specific fight in Solo Leveling that I'm waiting to see.
Yes.
And see if they just like pull out all the fucking stops for that.
There is one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and that one I want to watch as well. So I will hate watch that as well.
Well,
Okay,
I will
cool.
say what also confuses me is that they have part of that fight in the fucking opener. So I'm just like, I feel like I think it's weird to have like one of the most hyped fights just be in the opener.
opener.
I think it's
Yeah.
okay if the fight is very long. If you only take a snippet, like when I see games do this, like Elden Ring just came out with a trailer, right? For their DLC, they have a bunch of boss fights in there, but you get one auto attack, and that's all you see of the boss. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He just looks cool. I think as long as there's a lot in that scene, like if it's just him fighting him for 30 seconds and someone wins, I would be pissed.
It was short, but I will say that I saw more of that fight than I wanted to in the opener.
Okay, fair.
But like it wasn't long. But still, it was like just like you should like I would maybe want to show him, not fucking do the actual fighting. Especially if the fighting in the opener is so much better than all the fighing in the rest of the first 6 episodes of the fucking anime. So
wait, have you ever watched Samurai Champloo?
No. Also older animation though, right?
No.
Okay,
It's
you should. I mean, it is older, but like
it's-
I think it's aged very well.
I watched the first episode recently. It is cool. The music
Ooh.
is Nunjabe's too.
Nunjabe's. Wait,
He
didn't the series like popular? Not popular. Is that the right word? It made Nunjabe's popular in the U.S.
Yeah, partially. This is fucking cool. But it's 2004. But if you watch it, the animation will feel like watching Ninja Kamui.
It's so clean.
but better.
I do like
but
Ninja
better.
Kamui,
it's
yeah.
so clean.
No.
Okay.
This is like right up your alley. And if
One of my favorite openers too. So good.
the music here, the story, the characters, there's only 3. And you get to follow their entire journey. They all have different things that they want to do. Yeah, I rewatched the first episode recently, and I was like, this kept up really well.
Okay.
Also, they do kind of include like some hip hop culture references in it too, which I find like funny and cool. Like I think there was a part where like you just see this old man start beatboxing, you know, and like a guy's like rapping to it or something. I don't know. It's just like a lot of weird but funny things that happen. Cool. Like it is also very rule of cool. Like a very cool series.
He says that word a lot. I don't know.
I've been saying rule of cool.
Yeah.
I always just thought the rule of cool was basically like as long as it's cool, nothing else matters.
It's true. This is a great series for it's cool. Literally nothing matters. But the best part is everything is good. Like what you want in a show, you want mature, you want character development, you want like a plot you can follow, you want good fights. Some of the best sword fights you'll ever see.
Cool. I have heard good things about this one. I think I just always assumed that the animation was on the older side, but I'm definitely down to give it a try.
We threw a name in there I threw a name in there that I compared to recently. Ninja Kamui came out on Netflix, and the fights are the only good part about that show. Like one of the only good fights. Like or the fights is crazy. There's a lot of like and all the budget is on the fights. But like the character development, the way stuff happens.
The guitar scene, man. I'm sorry, bro. That shit was like I crawled into my own body because how cringe that shit was.
Oh, when the family?
Yeah.
Oh, that just gave me like, everybody's about to die. Like as soon as I saw that, I was
that
like,
gave me that too.
we're
I
fucking
don't know.
dead.
It was just like everyone's like speaking Japanese, and then just like the fucking. It just felt like such a jarring transition to him singing in English, and I was just like, well, everyone's gonna die here, obviously. But I
Yeah.
was just like, it was like too much. It was too corny.
I think because I had that everyone's gonna die feeling, I didn't mind it. I was like, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting now.
So like it falls into like the Ghost in the Shell type category for me, and it sucks because that category is so hard to do well. Like if you're gonna do like android, like humanoid, super like futuristic stuff, you have to do it so well for me to be like, oh okay, oh you fucking killed it. You know, there's only a few things I think that aren't Ghost in the Shell that did like that type of stuff.
I mean, Ghost in the Shell is just meticulously animated.
Yes,
like so
beautiful.
detailed. So like
you'll hear
Never
stuff
seen
about
it.
you'll.
Don't know if you'd like it, to be honest.
It is very dated, is the thing. But like the amount of detail they put into machinery, like into the parts of the people and into the actual mechs, is meticulous.
Mechs. You lost me at mechs.
He is a mech guy. I am not a mech guy.
I'm not even like a mech guy. I just like don't hate it the way so many people seem to hate it.
Well, it's funny because I play Lisa in Tekken.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean, I think she's more Japanese girl than mech.
She's more on the like, yeah.
If she had like a helmet on and shit, then I think you would probably be more opposed to it. But like, she's just a pink-haired girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, mech stuff and android stuff is like, aside from that, there's only that one thing. What's the anime where they have a gun and they shoot you, or it determines how bad they've been. Like a morality gun.
Oh, Psychopath? No, is it
Yes.
Psychopath?
Oh, Psychopaths. I tried that.
And
I think it was Celine's.
It was Celine's suggestion. You didn't like it.
Celine's suggestion. I didn't really like it. I didn't hate it. I just was like, it wasn't interesting enough. She also recommended me. What's the other one?
Steins Gate.
Fucking hated that.
we talked about
Fucking
that.
hated Steins Gate.
I could not get past the first episode twice.
Yeah.
I could not do it.
I'm
Same.
so interested in finding someone who has not seen Steins Gate until recently and liked
it.
Like, I'm
That's
just wondering,
the challenge.
like, is this like a thing where like people really liked it for its time and it's aged horribly, or like are there new like people are watching Steins Gate for the first time in 2023, 2024, and they're like, this is my shit? Because like for me, I was like, damn, I'm going to fucking kill myself in Minecraft if I have to watch another fucking episode of this shit.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I sent to Scarra last night. Have you seen they're making a live action Parasyte?
Yes, I've heard about this.
Yes, I just heard about it last night.
Crazy from the director of Train to Busan.
Am I crazy for thinking that there already was a live action Parasite?
You need to
I think that's what this is.
So, no.
That's a movie?
That's the movie Parasyte, okay? The live action one, it's spelled with a Y instead of an I, and it's made by, is it the same same director?
Yeah.
That one.
This,
yes. The live
it's gonna be Korean.
Yeah, Korean live action series
on Netflix.
And the fourth picture or the second picture, that one. Is that
Parasyte
that crazy?
Gray. So it's not Parasyte the Maxim, which is the anime. It's something different.
I think it's just gonna be based on the world.
Yeah.
But it looks like that's cool.
Yeah,
well,
like I'm interested.
I'm gonna need to see it in action because Parasyte is like was gonna require so much like CGI or like practical effects.
Also, the reason Parasyte was good was because like honestly, like Migi and the main character did a really good job coming together, and like you could enjoy both of them, you know?
Yeah. I didn't really like Parasyte like that much, but I watched it when my ankle was broken and I had nothing better to do, and I think that's the only reason why I got through it. I think otherwise I would have stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, was it the music? The music kind of sucked, right?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
Well, I also read it too, so I don't know.
That is fair. I mean, look, to get you to watch One Piece, we may have to do something that I don't want to say.
Me? No, I already watched the One Piece live action.
We're gonna break her other ankle.
I'm just gonna be a live action One Piece enjoyer, and I'm okay with that.
I'm just no.
Well, I mean, I heard. Well, I never finished live action One Piece, but like from what I saw, it is like one of the best live action adaptations I've seen.
Is it all of East Blue? No, it's
like
not.
I said, I did not watch the entirety of it, so I don't even know where it ends. But I just generally think that live action adaptations don't need to exist.
I agree. Like the new Avatar.
Do you know what's crazy is I don't actually think it's that bad. I think it's one of the better live action adaptations I've seen.
Which
I have so many problems.
I think of the stuff I watched, the CGI was much better to the point where it's watchable.
It's watchable.
Where like if you watch the Avatar movie, that shit
The Last
is
Airbender?
so bad.
Yeah.
There's no movie
that you're
Boston
just
Fair.
like, oh my god. It's not even like a fun bad. It's like a damn. This is kind of sad bad.
Horrible.
Whereas I feel like even
I thought it was funny. You saw those 8 Earthbenders doing that like fucking move, and it shoots one tiny
rock.
pebble. That will always be a giga banger.
So the original live action Avatar was the first movie that I had ever walked out on. Me and my dad stood up and left after like 15 minutes of watching it in theaters. We just walked out. We're like, I can't.
I have actually yet
right
to
now.
walk out of a movie, and if I would have walked out of a movie, it would have been the Cats movie.
was it bad?
It was so bad. It was just so long too. It was just long and bad, and it was just like some of the I was like genuinely shocked how I'd be like, there's so much star power in this movie. How
and it's so bad.
How the fuck did they get Sir Ian McKellen, fucking what was it, Taylor Swift?
This would send me into a bad trip.
Yes,
I actually would spiral.
I was thinking about taking edibles before this. I'm so glad I did. Because, holy fuck!
I'm so surprised Taylor Swift was in this.
Yeah. It's nightmare fuel.
So the only thing I could think of, like, how people would have been okay when this movie came out, they had no idea how they would look.
No, I think what happens is like this happens with me a lot, where I'm like, oh, one of my friends is doing this, sure, I'm in. Where like I'm sure once they got like some of the star power, like they got Taylor Swift, like, hey, Taylor Swift is doing this, and then he's doing this, and he's doing this.
Sir Ian McKellen was in the shit.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to sell when you're like, oh, we got these superstars in, and you just need to do one scene, and then they just do that 10 times. All of a sudden, 10 more superstars.
Yeah.
I think Judi Dench was in it too. They had so many good actors in this movie, and it was so bad. It was like horrifying. I don't know, man.
Did you watch it too?
Yes, I have seen it. I was indeed under the influence of green stuff. And it was horrible.
It was not fun?
No.
It's long, dude. It's like 2.5 hours.
I was scared.
How
I was like,
long is it?
I think it's like 2.5 to 3 hours long.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
2.5 hours.
I watched it with my roommates at the time, and like it was just like we were the only ones in the theater, and it felt like we were in a psychosis chamber. It was so bad.
Watched it in theater.
I can't believe with it. Yeah, what? The only movie I've ever had problems with was Titanic. And that was just a movie where it wasn't.
Wait, how old are you when Titanic came out?
Who has issues with the Titanic?
Let me explain. I fell asleep during the movie because I was tired. I woke up and the movie was still playing. That was my problem with it.
You were like,
it's just long.
It's because you were like 9 years old.
Yeah.
You were a baby.
It's my mom's favorite movie of all time. But I just saw it and I was like, I can't do this. And then she bought like the extended like DVD and with even more footage or something. And I'm just like, I fucking can't.
Titanic was the first movie titties I've ever seen. I'll never forget.
Really?
Yeah, my mom tried to cover my face during the scene, but she was watching and she put her hand over my lips. So I'm just like watching the whole time and she thinks she's covering my eyes, but she is not. And I'm like, great oogly booglies. Like, look at those.
Good childhood memory.
Yeah. But then my mom did not cover my eyes when all those people died. So
that
dude, I still remember to this day that one scene where the guy is falling and he hits the
really
no, it's like, I think, what is the thing that steam comes out of on the ships? You know what I'm talking about, right? Those giant chimneys that are.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
so he's like falling and then he hits the side of it. Makes this bonk noise as he's falling. I'll never forget. Smokestack. Yeah.
That is crazy.
I don't remember that.
And then, like, Leonardo DiCaprio's friend gets crushed by one of the smokestacks as it's falling.
Oh, I only remember the final scene where it's like they're like both trying to share a single.
Yeah.
And Rose is like, no. And he's just like, yeah. It's funny that you say you have a problem with the movie Titanic. It's like, you're 9 years old, man. Like,
yeah,
you're not like
you're
not a discerning film critic at this. Not that we are discerning film critics, but it's just like, I'm imagining 9-year-old you like, this movie is not very well paced, is it? Like,
that is true. All right. I think that pretty much wraps up our episode.
Yeah.
Cool. This was fun.
Yeah. No, that was hella fun. I'm glad we talked about like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That was great.
We are not here to be 100% manga or anime. Just talk about
whatever we want.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Yeah. And we can talk about how the DCU sucks, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we just talked about DCU, the podcast might be 2 hours long.
I'm gonna fucking laugh if like Offline TV is sponsored by the new DCU movie.
No, and then that's when they know we're either sellouts or it's the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fuck
probably
it.
Sellouts.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Sid, for joining the podcast. Is there anywhere people can find you? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to shout out? Whatever.
I'm Sydeon. I'm in Offline TV too. We just make stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
thanks for having
also,
me.
she's now the blindfolded car girl. You can find her stuff on YouTube.
That sounds so sus. She's the blindfolded car girl. I'm the blindfolded car fast food challenge girl on YouTube.
And it is awesome.
But blindfolded car girl for short.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next episode.
See you guys.